Hey guys, Bix Weir, roadtoroad.com, coming to you from Oakland, California. Yes, this is Oakland, California. I keep showing pictures of Oakland that you're like, wait, you're not in Oakland, you're in the woods. This is my water source because I just did that live chat about taking care of yourself in the upcoming financial chaos. You can do it from a city as well. You just got to think about things you're going to need: food, water, ammunition, stuff like that. This is it's about a mile from my house, so it's very reachable in my electric scooter, and I have 3-gallon sealable water containers I can bring down. And of course this is not drinkable, but I do have filters. I have some life straws. All you backpackers and campers probably know what a life straw is, but it takes real shitty water, and it filters it into perfectly drinkable water. So yes, if you're thinking about, okay, what do I do? How do I cover this part? How do I cover my water situation? Especially if you live anywhere, because there won't be water purification depending on how long the system is shut down. Again, I'm saying the probability of a shutdown in September, hardly any probability. The probability of my date of September 11th of a financial collapse, it's greater than the probability of the other days, but I would put the probability make like 3% chance between now and the end of the year that we're going to have a September 2008 type event. So I would say on that day, it's about a 3% chance, September 11th. On all the other days between now and the end of the year, it's about a 1% chance of something dramatic happening. So it is not likely. But having said that, with all these things, I just got off an interview with Dave at X22 Report, and we were talking about all the things. We got a perfect storm coming in government with all the trials and the anti-Trump versus left versus right that the deep state has set up. They set it up. We don't hate each other. It's the deep state trying to pit each other against each other. But absolutely, that and the Epstein revelations. I hear a report is coming out with all kinds of names. So get ready for some, as who was it? Nancy Pelosi's daughter said, hey, some of our faves are going to get implicated in the Epstein thing. It's not good. It's not good. And it hasn't been good. So you're going to see a lot of senators saying either getting arrested or stepping down. I don't believe in stepping down, pedophiles stepping down. If you got the proof on them, as in videotape, which they have a lot of, supposedly, you bust them. Those people need to go to jail. I mean, out of any criminals, you can steal all you want from the comics and the silver manipulation, but you're a pedophile, you go to freaking jail for life, in my book. And we know some that have not got arrested and then have not gone to jail at all because they're deep state. The deep state, that's part of the control mechanism that they had. So that coming together along with the Russiagate bullshit, the FISA-gate coming out, the Clinton Global Initiative fraud, I would say the Bush family will go down with the count, both the pedophiles and the stealing of money. You name it. It's just all happening now. Deutsche Bank, right on the weakest it's ever been, and still sitting there with $50 trillion in derivatives, and nobody's talking about it. They want the system to crash. So the only question really left is what day. And again, I think it's a 1% chance between now, unless some kind of bailout happens, between now and the end of the year. Each day is a 1% chance, with a 3% chance of something dramatic happening on September 11th, which is next week. So, and I give the reasons. I actually posted. I haven't posted the second part, which I believe shows that there's something planned for September 11th. I'll do that tomorrow, just so that people have it going into next week, which is a big week. There are many. Remember what Ruta wrote in the sand: 11 plus 9, 9/11. It happened in 2008 on September 11th at 11 o'clock in the morning, according to Senator Kanjorski, is when they basically clicked the mouse, and $500 billion instantly came out of the money market funds, And that's the moment they had to decide, do we bail out the banks or not? They decided to bail out the banks, and then they did it officially when Hank Paulson went into Congress. So will the same thing happen? Probably not the same thing, but something big, I think, is in the works, because we're 11 years after 9/11, 2008. Yeah. And 20 years after 9/11. No, was it 20? 18 years after. I don't know, something like that. But 11 years after 2008, and that's when the financial collapse was. Listen to Senator Kanjorski's discussion of it, and you will get the idea. So absolutely, you should be prepared. Watch my video I posted a couple days ago about the collapse. I talk about what you need, just in case there's a couple weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks is not a worst case. A couple weeks to me is the most likely case if we have a financial collapse. Yes, I do believe there will be martial law. It does not necessarily have to be a bad thing, but most people in the United States would want martial law if the banks went down. Just way too much potential for loss of life and chaos. Rioting in the streets will lead to rioting in big cities. Of course, every bank will be shut down because they can't go to work. People will be extremely angry at these banks if we have to bail them out again. And then it gets back to, will there be a bailout? If Congress is not in session because half of them or a third of them are being investigated for pedophilia and other crimes, I don't know. Yes, so watch for the X-22 report to come out. I think he's putting it out Friday or Saturday. And it was a very frank discussion about what's headed our way. I was even scaring myself, but truthfully, when you put the pieces together, it's time. And we don't want to pass this on to our grandkids. We want to take care of the problem now. I think everybody's on board with that, but that means absolute global economic chaos and social chaos. And hopefully not military chaos, but you never know, especially if the bad guys get their way. Now, it looks like Hurricane Dorian is being steered off of the coast. So what does that tell you? It tells me the good guys got a hold of the HARP system, at least that part of it. Or some blackmail was used and somebody paid off something. I don't know. But we've been able to steer hurricanes for a long, long time. That is absolutely within the scientific, technological realm of possibility for humanity to create weather wars, which, listen to Dane Whittington. I think that's his name, Dane Whittington, and you'll get the idea. It's so easy to do, and we've been able to do it for over 50 years. So yes, the Hurricane Dorian is being steered away from the coast. I don't know if it will hit somewhere in the U.S., but think about what it does. I was talking to Dave about this. One, it kind of gives people the idea, the thought in their head, hey, we got to prepare for some long-term outage. So they got the mindset, all the stores were empty, all that. If you lived in Florida, you know what I'm talking about, on the east coast of Florida. But also, so you're prepared now. So if we have a financial collapse, say in mid-September, you've got all your supplies that you loaded up on. Now it's going up the East Coast and people are loading up on supplies. Is it a good idea? Maybe it was done on purpose to scare everybody to get supplies, not for Hurricane Dorian, but for an economic hiccup that lasts a week or two. I think that's the most likely outcome, is a week or two of disruption and then plans in place to restart the system one way or the other. I do think Satoshi's Bitcoin will finally come into play, which means Satoshi's Bitcoin Cash as well. Now, how it will be implemented, how it will be rolled out, will the U.S. create another cryptocurrency? I believe, and we've done remote viewing on this, that the government was involved. The U.S. government was involved. I believe it's part of the transition. And it is not a coincidence that right after the September 2008 crash, September 11th, 2008 crash, right after that, the Satoshi white paper came out and Bitcoin was invented. Now we're 11 years later. I believe by now, in the end of the year, we're going to see some major economic upheaval. And it's wanted. People keep asking me about the election of the president. I don't think it matters. I mean, it is such a tiny thing compared to what we're staring at right in the face. The destruction of the economic system is so much bigger than who's president of the United States. So much bigger. We're talking disruption, all the savings checking, all your funds are gone. Lack of food distribution, lack of everything, lack of communication. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And that's why the can's been kicked down the road for over 100 years. And the buck stops at some point. Or we can believe in the Dick Allgaier idea that the bad guys are in charge of us and we have no say in it. I do have a response video for Dick's video, but I decided not to put it up because I don't want to go tit for tat with my buddy Dick Allgaier, who I love to death. And like many people in cryptos, we're going to agree to disagree on this one. I'm going to keep fighting for freedom. He's going to believe what he believes. And I think I can win, along with a lot of other freedom fighters within the United States, behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and in the crypto world, the Bitcoin bins of the world. Those are the kind of people who are going to change the world. And I'm all about changing this world. Like my editing? No, I didn't edit. I just was silent. So if you believe in change, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But at the other end, the end of the road to Ruta, there is a huge rainbow. And that's what we're shooting for. It's Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com, coming to you from my lovely water source in Oakland, California. I love it. I'll talk to you guys later.